Hi guys, it's markabusi here and welcome back to part 2 of the Folklore reaction by Taylor Swift. Part 1 is already up on YouTube if you want to watch that. If you want to see the full uncut version of that, then you can go to Patreon, which includes the reactions to 7 and My Tears Ricochet. This version that you're watching on YouTube at the moment is also going to be edited. I am at the moment unsure what songs I'm cutting out. If you want to see the entire damn thing in its uncut glory, Patreon is the place. Patreon.com/markabusi reactions. If for the next album reaction that we do from Little Miss Swiftie, you would like to be there in the flesh, having a laugh, having a chat, listening to some music, come over to the Twitch stream and watch it there at twitch.tv/markabusi reactions. First half of this album was absolutely fucking banging. It was beautiful acoustic folk music with some indie elements and some just nice sparse production that really showcased her ability to turn a really good hooky melody and some absolutely fantastic introspective lyricism. That was the first half of this album. I am curious to see if she can maintain that, because 16 songs is quite long for an album. I think it's going to be kind of remarkable to get that strong a hit rate across 16 songs. If it had been 12 songs, fine. 16, it's a bit much. So we're going to go in, we're going to finish it, we're going to see is the back half of this album as strong as the front half of this album, and then afterwards we're going to total up the scores, because I'm scoring every song individually. We'll score them up, we'll divide it by the number of tracks, and that will give the album a full score out of 10, which you will find out at the end, so stick around for that.
I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout. Could have followed my fears all the way down. And maybe I don't quite know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know.
I'm kind of really liking the mix on the drums, because they're quite kind of muted, and then there's a wee bit of delay on there and a tiny bit of reverb, which just kind of makes it feel like it's quite far away. And then the start had like a really weird kind of synth noise in the background, which was kind of unsettling and reminded me a wee bit of TTPD, and I was kind of like, oh, well, what melody are we going to get along with this? And then when the rest of the music came in, it kind of changed dynamic completely and went from quite weird and unsettling into kind of happy, chill type vibe. No, the bit that was particularly weird though is just the way that she sings and rolls straight into the chorus, to the point where I didn't actually realise that that was the chorus. Like the whole thing just kind of rolled straight in. There was nothing musically to go, by the way, we're hitting a chorus now. Then when you realise it's just hitting the chorus and you're like, it's nice.
In your doorway, I just wanted you to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential, and my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regret.
Some of our lines are brilliant because of the metaphorical context of them, or because she really succinctly sums up quite a kind of complex idea in one line, and stuff like that. She does that quite a lot, right? But sometimes I just like a line that just sounds cool. Like sometimes lyrics can just be cool, and because they sound nice to sing, and just or they sound nice to listen to, and just the hell we like. But I didn't pour the whiskey. It's just a cool line. I like that. So far as I could tell, this song's about her realizing that she's got a tendency to sometimes kind of go off the fucking deep end sometimes, but she's really trying to rein it in.
This is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying. And it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback and a film reel on the one screen in my town. And I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Maybe I'm quite. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying.
Okay, right. I have been very, very positive about Taylor Swift recently, and particularly this album, okay? Anybody who doubts that, go back and watch the first reaction, right? I've been very, very fucking positive. So don't fucking start on me. That bridge didn't work for me because, firstly, dynamically, it kind of just rolled into it, and secondly, too many lyrics. In the first two lines, too many lyrics. She had no way to fit that amount of syllables into the space that she had, and she just threw them in there. No really with a good melody. It was just blurting it to get it out and then moving on to the next bit. And the second bit within it had like the kind of backing singing. That was cool, but didn't like that. She has done that before in other songs I've heard, but usually she's got a way of making it sound deliberate and a way of making it so that it still works. Like I have no issue with somebody coming in and going and blah blah blah, and it's like a word salad in a line, but that one didn't work for me. It's just that one, and it was like literally those two lines. I went, that felt a bit forced.
In my town, and I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Maybe I'm quite. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying.
That song's fine whilst you're in it because it's got a nice mood, and the instrumentation is quite well produced and it sounds nice enough, but nothing really happens. Doesn't really seem to shift at any point. It just kind of like starts the mood and just contains it all the way across. Folk are gonna get mad here. It feels lazy a little bit. I feel like that song's pure filler. That song's pure filler for me. I'm going to score that one a 6. Like I would know, like it was fine to listen to at the time. I have no intention of going back to it. We're moving on. What is the next song?
Too good.
This t-shirt's a bit tight.
sure nobody sees you leave. Hood over your head, keep your eyes down. Tell your friends you're out for a run. You'll be flushed when you return. Take the road less traveled by. Tell yourself you can always stop. What started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings in parking lots. And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and longing stares. It's born from just one single glance, but it dies and it dies and it dies a million little times.
Nah, she knows too much about it. She's been a dirty. She has been a wee dirty. She knows too much about it. Not that I'm one to rest on my laurels and refer back to previous videos, but anybody who would like my opinion on the subject matter of what this song is about should refer to my previous comments in No Body No Crime. Make a bank account in the Caymans. That's all I'm saying.
Leave the perfume on the shelf that you picked out just for him, so you leave no trace behind, like you don't even exist. Take the words for what they are, a dwindling mercurial high, a drug that only worked the first few hundred times. And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and stolen stares. They show their truth one single time, but they lie and they lie and they lie a million little times. And you wanna scream, don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. You showed me colors you know I can't see with anyone else. Don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this idiotic fool that you made me. You taught me a secret language I can't speak with anyone else. And you know damn well, for you I would ruin myself a million little times.
Okay, right, that song was really gorgeous. I feel like there's a wee bit of kind of denial in the lyrics as to like her part in it. Like a lot of that song is told from the point of view of her saying like, "Oh, you did this and you did that, and you made me feel like this and you made me feel like that. How dare you have done this to me when we were having this affair?" And there's no like self-reflection on her part in it, because she obviously knew what was happening and still went along and did it. By the way, I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm suggesting that's probably deliberate, because there's probably going to be other songs in her back catalogue where she does take accountability for stuff and does kind of self-reflect on her part in things. I just feel like at this point, like in this particular song, she's chosen to focus on this aspect of that thing rather than kind of go like broader in scope with the whole, like looking at it from all angles, which is a totally fine thing to go and do. Musically, it was really, really pretty. I also feel like if she had been roaring that, like just shouting it rather than singing it very nicely, then that is a pure fucking emo song in the same vein as like an Early November acoustic track. That one was significantly better than the previous track, so I'm scoring that one a 9. because I liked that one. And I liked when she was doing the kind of low singing and she would end the note on the wee high note. I thought that was really cool. That guitar's instantly nice.
What did you think I'd say to that? Does a scorpion sting when fighting back? They strike to kill, and you know I will. You know I will. What do you sing on your drive home? Do you see my face in the neighbor's lawn? Does she smile? Or does she mouth fuck you forever? Every time you call me crazy, you're getting more crazy. What about that? And when you say you seem angry, you're getting more angry. And there's nothing like a mad woman. What a shame she went mad. No one likes a mad woman. You made her like that. You poke that bear till her claws come out, and you find something to wrap your noose around. And there's nothing like a mad woman. Now I breathe flames each time I talk. My cannons all firing at your yacht. They say, move on, but you know I won't. And women like hunting witches too, doing your dirtiest work for you. It's obvious that wanting me dead has really brought you two together. Every time you call me crazy, you're getting more crazy. What about that? And when you say I seem angry, you're getting more angry. And there's nothing like a mad woman. What a shame she went mad. No one likes a mad woman. You made her like that. And you poke that bear till the claws come out, and you find something to wrap your noose around. And there's nothing like a mad woman. I'm taking my time, cause you took everything from me. Watching you climb over people like me. The master of spin has a couple side flings. Good wives always know. She should be mad, should be scathing like me, but no one likes a mad woman. What a shame she went mad. You made her like that.
Okay, well, firstly, right, the production at the end of that was absolutely kind of genius. Like the way the drums built up and got more kind of slightly distorted and stuff as they went on. It seemed as if the song was kind of building up and breaking apart at the same time, which I thought was kind of like reflective of the build up of her anger into mad woman type status. I think that's kind of what she was going for. Is just at the end kind of going, oh, it's building up, like her anger. So right, as far as I can tell, this is, here's the problem, right? See when she gets intellectual, and then I've got to sit there in my head and try and kind of break it down into what I think the song's about, and I need time. But this is like on the hoof, and I don't have the time, so I've just got to sit there and poo this shit out my fucking arse. But basically, right, this seems to be her railing against the patriarchy, and I can see why it could also be seen as her from the perspective of like a relationship that has kind of, or like if she's like the side piece in a relationship or something like that, where if she's then like complaining and saying her piece after he's like, oh, there she goes, crazy bitch again, and she's all like, I but what the fuck, what the fucking they did to make me like this and that, and that's like one context you can put the song in, but the other context is you take the whole mad woman archetype of Victorian literature, translate that to her singing the song from her perspective, and you've got that time, that stretch of time. Then when she was talking about like hanging witches back during like I mean the obvious example would be back during the Salem times, and it's how over hundreds of years women have been subjugated to the whims of men who go and do what they like, and then the minute that women start to complain about it, the men are like, she's crazy. Like, look at that, she's hysterical, she's acting all hysterical and that, she's like a wee crazy woman. That's, we use that as a stick to push women down. We don't let women express their emotions the same way that a man would express their emotions, or if a woman expresses her emotions in a different way from which a man would express his emotions on that same subject, we see that as irrational and crazy because a woman should be demure. They're just there to service our needs rather than being people of their own agency with their own thoughts and feelings. I mean, I could be wrong and I could be reading far too much into that, but that was my takeaway from it, because there was a lot of little wee things in there to pick out where she was referring back to different things, and like the Salem witch trials and the title of the song, and for me that was very deliberate to go like, this isn't just like a standalone thing, this has always been like this. But anyway, right, that was Mad Woman. I'm going to say for the message alone it would have been like an 8 out of 10, but musically it was gorgeous, and so it's getting a 9. That one's getting a 9. It's not a 10 because it's a harder listen than some of the more easier listens on this album. So it's one of those ones where if I'm not really in the mood for it, I will skip it. It's still a fucking banger of a tune, and it's an important song. Okay.
Calling up the beaches now. Sir, I think he's bleeding out. And some things you just can't speak about. With you I serve, with you I fall down, down. Watch you breathing, watch you breathing out, out. Something med school did not cover. Someone's daughter, someone's mother.
I love that we
Hold your
know.
hand through plastic now. Doc, I think she's crashing out. And some things you just can't speak about. one single glimpse of relief to make some sense of what you've seen. With you I serve, with you I fall down, down. Watch you breathing, watch you breathing out, out. With you I serve, with you I fall down, down. Watch you breathing, watch you breathing out, out. Only 20 minutes to sleep, but you dream of some epiphany. Just one single glimpse of relief to make some sense of what you see.
The first verse of it, I was like, okay, that's clearly about someone in the war and the horrors of war. And then the second verse was about someone. Well, it was about people dying in hospital. My chat has helpfully informed me that it was about World War II, her grandpa in World War II, and about COVID, which kinda actually then puts a lot of that song into focus for me. So thank you for letting me know, because I kinda actually did need that, because in my head I was like, I could tell it was about. I mean, I knew the song was about death, and I knew the song was about the gravity of death on the individual, and the music was quite funereal. I don't know how you pronounce that, but you probably know the word that I'm trying to say. The first verse, I was like, okay, it's an anti-war song, and it's about somebody dying, and that was lovely, and it was nice. And then the second verse came in. It turns out it's about COVID, which I like. Full disclosure, I have had no experience of anyone close to me passing away through COVID. I was really, really fortunate. I never had COVID myself, despite being key worker and working the entire time. I never caught COVID, and I was really, really lucky. I know a lot of people weren't, but before I knew it was about COVID and I was just listening to the lyrics for what they were, I was remembering the time when my mother was passing away in the hospital and being there to be with her. That's a heavy, heavy song. Yeah. I didn't expect it. I don't know why. I didn't expect that. It just got me really fucking sad, because I didn't know what the song was about. I was kind of struggling to sit back and like really put that sadness into a perspective that I could then talk about in a kind of eloquent manner. So I'm not. Here's why this song was so fucking good. Because musically, possibly the most stripped back of any of the songs on this album is literally just one fucking organ and a wee bit of kind of moody, like fucking synthy type shit in the background, right? That's all it is. There's nothing else happening in that. But the melody's so strong and the lyrics are so hard hitting that it's not a comfortable listen by any stretch of the imagination. But that is one of the best songs on the album. It's legitimately beautiful. It's haunting and it's sad. Now that I know the context of the song, I feel like if I go back and listen to it again, I'll get more out of it, because I'll get the same kind of sad feelings that I was getting, and it will probably bring up the same kind of shitty memories that I did not want it to bring up. But I can recontextualize that with everything that I know about the subjects that the song's actually speaking about to get a deeper pull from it. Some of the best fucking things about good art, when you're able to revisit it and you get more from it the second time than you got from it the first time. There is the temptation by a lot of people to dismiss Taylor Swift as pop artist, but songs like this, artist. This is the thing that's so fucking frustrating. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll take the label on, right? I'll take the label on. It's the thing that's so frustrating being a Swiftie, right? Is that folk are so derisive and dismissive, and they go, "Oh, she's just this and she's just that," and you know songs like that exist, but will you ever get them to listen to it? Nope, because they don't want to come out their bubble. They don't want to come out their bubble. I'm not going to sit there and say that I like I'm fucking amazing because I came out of my bubble, but a wee bit. Oh, that's a nice bar. Oh. That's beautiful.
A coming of age is come and gone. Suddenly this summer it's clear. I never had the courage of my convictions, as long as danger is near. And it's just around the corner, darling, 'cause it lives in me. No, I could never give you peace. But I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. If your cascade ocean wave blues come, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. The devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Your integrity makes me seem small. You paint dreamscapes on the wall. I talk shit with my friends. It's like I'm wasting your honor. And you know that I'd swing with you for the fences, sit with you in the trenches, give you my wild, give you a child, give you the silence that only comes when two people understand each other, family that I chose now that I see your brother as my brother. Is it enough? But there's robbers to the east, clowns to the west. I'd give you my sunshine, give you my best, but the rain is always gonna come if you're standing with me. But I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. If your cascade ocean wave blues come, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. The devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Would it be enough if I could never give you peace?
That song was weird. That song was weird. The guitar work in it is absolutely fucking incredible, right? The guitar work is incredible. I think the song is about how she wants to love somebody and she wants to be loved, but she doesn't think that she's lovable. She's too fucked up to, like, for the relationship to be anything but a total fucking, like, whirlwind of just shit constantly. Like, she's coming with too much baggage, basically. I could love you and you could love me, but I'm just too much. Which is in its own way quite emotionally raw and honest and beautiful, but also the way she delivers the lines is really pleading. The last line of the song felt like the refrain at the end felt like almost like a kind of gospel melody, and I don't know where I got that from, but I felt kind of gospel to me. This is one of those songs where if you go into it in a certain mood, it's shit. If you go into it in the right mood, it's astonishing. It's not a straight up easy listen. The instrumentation in it, for a start, really, really weird. The lyrics, very dense. There's not a lot happens in there in terms of, like, kind of sonically divisive shifts or anything. So when you're listening to it, you kind of need to be in the mood. Like, she's got a wheelhouse that she kind of sticks to quite well on this album, and she's not really straying too far away from that. It's kind of folk indie. Within that little sandbox, she's gone, right, okay, how do I get to this mood? Using the same kind of thing. How do I get to this mood? She's like using one kind of sonic template to go across a whole range of emotions and topics, and it's quite impressive. And when an album that's got 16 songs on it, it allows you to then put that album on no matter what mood you're in, because you can get like 9 or 10 songs that are going to fit what you want to listen to at that particular time. I'm in quite a kind of sad mood tonight because I've had the precursor the songs previous to it. So that was like a 9. And it's a 9 because the instrumentation was really, really interesting, especially during the chorus where the guitars stopped following the 4/4 structure and were kind of just basically following whatever the fuck she was singing. They weren't really bothering their arse at that point with going and keeping an established beat. They were just like, right, we'll trust that she's going to sing in time and we'll just play along with it. And I thought that was quite interesting. It's quite a cool way of doing it. It's a brave instrumentation choice that I would never make on my album. I would never trust myself to just go, I could potentially lose the audience here with this, but I'm going to stop doing what they're expecting and just go and do my own thing. It's not a thing that I could see myself doing, but it worked.
My only one, my smoking gun, my eclipsed sun, this has broken me down. My twisted knife, my sleepless night, my windless fight, this has frozen my ground. Stood on the cliffside screaming, give me a reason. Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in. Don't want no other shade of blue but you. No other sadness in the world would do. My best laid plan, your sleight of hand, my barren land, I am ash from your fire. Stood on the cliffside screaming, give me a reason.
This song's absolutely fucking miserable. Is it pretty? Yes. In the verses, when she does the little pause before she sings like the last word of each line, it's a nice touch. It's a nice touch. Is it lyrically beautiful? Yes. But fuck me, I come into this in a good mood. She needs to cheer up. Listen. No. Do not put fucking words in my mouth. This is not the patriarchy turning round to the wee sad lassie and going, why don't you just smile? It's no that. This is me saying, it's one individual to another. She needs to stop being so hard on herself. She's doing alright. She's doing alright. You think about, right, the calibre of the guys that she has been linking. Other than Matty Healy, who looks like Splinter for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if he hadn't showered for a few weeks. She's had her cheeks clapped by some quality guys. Quality guys. Maybe no personality wise, right? Maybe no personality wise. In her time, she's taken some good dick, right? And she's made some bank. There's fuck what's up. I've spent ages building my relationship back up with the Swifties. I had destroyed it in the first video, right? The first video that I did of Taylor Swift destroyed all that relationship. Kept persevering, kept on working on it, built it back up. That's me just lit fire to that bridge. It's burnt, it's done. We're fucked. The bracelets were almost getting put into the post box and now they're fucking burnt.
Faithless love's the only hoax I believe in. Don't want no other shade of blue but you. No other sadness in the world would do. You know I left a part of me back in New York. You knew the hero died, so what's the movie for? You knew it still hurts underneath my scars from when they pulled me apart. You knew the password, so I let you in the door. You knew you won, so what's the point of keeping score? You knew it still hurts underneath my scars from when they pulled me apart. But what you did was just as dark.
Okay, that line was genius. That line was legitimately amazing. And it's because, right, and I'm going to condescend to you all by explaining it, so whatever. So you get a wound and then it heals over and it turns into a scar, and that scar is a symbol of the injury that you live with. That's her basically going like, you knew what other people had done to me in the past and you knew how hurt I had been in the past because you could see it and it looks like it's healed over, but it's not. The phantom pain is still under there and you exploited that, which is actually worse. Fucking genius lyricism. It's genius. The woman's a genius, right? Let's just say it. Say it for what it is.
Darling, this was just as hard as when they pulled me apart. My only one, my kingdom come undone. My broken drum, you have beaten my heart. Don't want no other shade of blue but you. No other sadness in the world would do.
I mean, okay, right, that song is absolutely fucking beautiful. All the jokes aside, that's a fucking beautiful album. And it's a beautiful song. All about how she has been absolutely devastated in the past, and she found it hard to open herself up to someone again, and she did, and she let that person in. No one found well, like they knew found well what she'd been through, and despite that, they still hurt her again. And I think that she's saying that that's worse this time around because they knew what it took for her to open up this time. If you are the kind of person who's had your trust broken and you explain that to somebody that's new in your life and they convince you that it's alright to trust them, then there's like a responsibility there. I feel. Look after that trust. Knowing what it costs to give you it in the first place. And if you're going to go and flippantly just throw that away, then that's a cunt move. It's a cunt move. That's a sad song. That's probably the saddest song on the album, I'm going to say. Which is why I started making jokes, because honestly, there's only so much sadness I can take in a night. I either just bury myself in it, in which case this reaction becomes, oh, or I actively pull myself out of the situation a wee bit so that I can maintain a kind of upbeat reaction for you guys. Yous are fucking welcome. That's the last song on the album, the standard version. But the deluxe version has one more song, which we're going to do. So, that song was a 10 out of 10. Now we've got the last song, which is called The Lakes.
Is it romantic how all my elegies eulogize me? I'm not cut out for all these cynical clones, these hunters with cell phones. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved, neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off, but not without my muse. What should be over burrowed under my skin, and heart-stopping waves of hurt. I've come too far to watch some name-dropping slaves tell me what are my words worth. Take me to the lakes where all the poets...
Okay, no, right. The Wordsworth bit was kind of clever. That's clever. This whole thing seems to be about her being tired of the celebrity and tired of being hounded and she just wants to get away from it all, so she wants to go to the Lake District, where I'm assuming based on things like the song called Mad Woman, the many references to stuff like that's littered throughout the songs, that she's a really big fan of, like the Brontes. I would not be surprised to find out that Jane Eyre or Wuthering Heights are her favourite book. So I feel like she's decided that she wants to escape to the moors. Well, no, wait, because the moors is where Wuthering Heights is set. But I don't know if that's in the Lake District. Because my English geography is absolutely fucking shocking. So she's going to the place which is where all of her kind of literary heroes are around, so that she can kind of like just escape from all the celebrity that she doesn't, that's kind of bringing her down, and try and just love with her muse, who better not be Matty Healy. This song can't be about Matty Healy as well. Like, fuck that, man.
When to die, I don't belong, and my beloved, neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off, but not without my muse. I 'cause I haven't moved in years, and I want you right here. A red rose grew up out of ice-frozen ground, with no one around to tweet it, while I bathe in cliffside pools with my calamitous love and insurmountable grief. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved, neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off, but not without my muse. No, not without you.
I know, fair point. That lyric has significantly dated this album, because Twitter doesn't exist anymore. Who's actually calling it X? Let's be honest. Things that I got wrong in this reaction. 1. Geography. It turns out the Brontes, not from the Lake District. 2. She's not singing about the Brontes in any fucking shape or form, because, again, they're not from the Lake District, and also not poets. She's singing about poets. Which am I right in right? I'm going to make a wild guess here. I am not the most literary minded person on the planet. I have read Jane Eyre. I have read Wuthering Heights. They are in my top 5 favourite books. As for the great poets, I don't know that much. I think, was there not Shelley, who was Mary Shelley's husband, and there's like Byron, and I think there's like 2 others that are considered like the 4 kind of famous poets from around that time in that area. You know what, I should have been able to guess Wordsworth, since he is actually name checked in the fucking song, but I didn't want to say that in case I was being an idiot. Yeah, so there's Wordsworth, there's Byron, I'm pretty sure Shelley's one of them, and Keats. Yeah, that's the thing, I've heard of all of them. I couldn't tell you a single poem by any of them, and I'm not even 100% certain about Shelley. But I'm also thinking, like, out of all of those 4 poets, the best writer was the guy's wife. Just saying, Frankenstein's amazing. Point is, that song, melancholic, beautiful. It's weird that that's not actually an album closer, because it's actually a better album closer than the actual album closer. It's sad, but on the kinda, it's exactly the kind of sadness that I love in music, and that was a 10 for me. I fucking loved that one, because it's like really, really sad, but it's also like there was so much happening musically that was just really, really beautiful. Yeah, I would happily listen to that one again and again and again. And also lyrically, really, really clever. There's plenty to go back to, and like if you want to go back and unpick it, there's plenty there to do. But if you want to just sit back and just enjoy it as a song, that it's also really, really pretty. A lot of the times, well, not a lot of the times, but a bunch of times on this album, I've kind of said that some of the songs, some of the more kind of lyrically dense songs, she's then made the arrangements so sparse to kind of accentuate the lyrics, which then means that you've got a more kind of boring song, but it's really clever, so that is good. But this one, I think she actually hits that sweet spot of having the music and the melodies and stuff absolutely bang on, whilst also being really lyrically dense. See when she's firing all cylinders like that, that's when you've got like fucking absolutely prime Taylor Swift. That was a 10 out of 10. That is the end of Folklore. The question is, what did it score? So we have we have done the maths, right? We've done the maths. The overall score was 174, but there was 16 songs on it. So the actual score, 10.2, which if you then go and round it up or down, which I like to do because it's easier, that album's a 10 out of 10. And I'm totally on board with that score. That's yeah. Because out of those 16 songs, you'd be lucky if there was about 3 or 4 that I would consider skipping whilst I was listening to. The rest of them, you've got like 12 absolute bangers, and then about 4 that didn't quite hit as much, which for a 16 track album, that's fucking impressive. What did you think of that album? How do you rate that amongst her albums? The next album that we're gonna do is going to be decided by poll on Patreon. If you would like to have any sway in what the next Taylor Swift album I react to is, head over to Patreon. It'll be up there. You'll also get access to the entirety of this reaction because it's going to get heavily edited. It's going to get heavily edited for YouTube, and I don't want to hear any fucking complaints from you guys about it because you know the drill by now. The whole reaction's on Patreon, patreon.com/markabusi reactions. I don't really have anything else to say. It's a beautiful album. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate it. If you've enjoyed the video, like, subscribe if you want. It helps the channel to grow. If you're watching it on Patreon, then thank you for the patience, because you've been here for almost 3 hours now, and that's crazy. I've been markabusi, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.